Good evening, YouTubers. This is the second part of my life. You've been very kind to ask that I should do this, and so many of you have asked me lots of questions, and I'll try to tell you things that will answer those questions. But what I really want to do is gabble through this fairly quickly, because I think I will find it more interesting if I take you to points in my life where I made major changes, how it affected my life, and the difference that it made. But as you know from the last video, I have left school. I am now going into employment. The war is still on. Rationing is still quite severe. My mother spent, I suppose, a whole year's of clothes coupons to buy me a new suit. Well, a new one. Yeah, I mean, it was new, but I never had a suit before anyway, because that was required if I was going into this white-collar job and going into an office. And I went to work in a local government office in the public health department, and that is what I was destined to do. Naturally, as a junior, you're just a dog's body, but the training was to start under the guidance of the local surveyor, actually, and but again I had to go to night school, and I had to do more education, and you can imagine, as a young person, you've left school behind and you just want to leave everything else behind and get on with much more important things in life. But I was quite happy about the whole situation, really. I was going to get a check every month, and I was going to have some money, and life was okay. The thing that bugged me, I suppose, most of all, was the fact that I couldn't ride my bike, my precious bike, motorbike, because petrol was very severely rationed, and the coupons were only allowed to people of very important need, but as it does, I got hold of some occasionally from somewhere. I don't know where. I expect it was a bit dodgy, but I got hold of some, and I was able to go out on it occasionally. You had to know where you were going quite well, because in the wartime all the signposts were taken down, so there was no signpost to tell you where you were going, and that was tough. Anyway, you want me really to get onto the war. Well, you won't hear any tales of heroism or any action, but from the age of 16 and you're getting near to 18, you're waiting for that brown envelope to come through the door that's going to say you've conscripted, drafted, I suppose, in the American terminology, into the forces. And of course the envelope always comes, and that's where you go. It's not something I want to drag up from my memory too accurately, because it's a very brutal initiation. It's a boot camp system where your brain is supposed to be scrambled so that you will react like Pavlov's dog and pull the trigger without question on demand. And the treatment is quite brutal. There's Neanderthal people who seem to have got hooked onto great turn on of the brutality that they can throw at you, and it happens to everybody. We all survived, and well, with the odd exception, but we all survived, and for sure you certainly grow up quick. You're supposed to be changed from a man to a boy in 6 weeks, and they never fail. There might be a point of discussion there. I may be. Anyway, I was quite lucky, because once again somebody decided, as the result of some intelligence test, although I think you only had to have an IQ of a sort of about 10 plus or something, but somebody decided that they would send me to be trained as a radar mechanic. Now, actually, that was extremely interesting, and I mean, radar was in its infancy, and it was a major factor in the sort of winning of the war. We had to swear an oath of secrecy to everything, and threatened that we would be shot if we divulged anything. I'm sure that isn't true, but it was very cloak and dagger stuff and very restricted. And I, together with others, were sent to a college in Aberdeen, Scotland, and therefore we weren't under anybody's supervision. So there we were in the forces, and all other requirements of us was that we turn up and sign in for the lectures each day, where we learned about radar at the very start of the whole business and at the cutting edge. And my goodness me, we've gone over to 6 minutes. That doesn't matter. I think YouTube are going to allow me a bit of leeway there, but I'll leave you at that point. I hope I'll make another video in the next couple of days, and I want to take you to, well, something that was a major change in my life, and it had a great effect on my life. So for the moment, goodbye, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.